Hello and welcome to the MAPS 101 training webinar for Georgia educators emphasizing grades K through 2. I'm Terry Karamars, the Customer Account Specialist and MAPS 101 trainer. And today my goal is to provide you with a solid overview of the broad and in-depth content available to you in MAPS 101 and how to navigate through the material at your fingertips. We'll structure our training today by first looking at the 4 easy ways to navigate content on MAPS 101 with examples. Then we'll go ahead and take a quick look at the content sections making up the MAPS 101 resource here on the left side, highlighting some of the key areas. At the end of our training, we'll return back here to the home page and we'll go ahead and show you how you can review what you've learned or learn a little bit more on your own. So let's go ahead and jump right in with the first way to search content on MAPS 101, and that is to browse by subject. In the green box, you can check from one of these 5 content areas. I'm going to go ahead and click on Geography. What comes up is a quick grouping of materials by subject. You'll see we have some geography glossaries at the beginning and advanced levels. Geography News Network articles. Scrolling down, you'll note introductions to maps and map skills, K through 3 maps, lesson plans aimed at the different grade levels, and as you continue to scroll down, you'll also note National Geographic video content and different types of map projections. I do want to emphasize that what you see here doesn't represent everything within a category. For example, we've got over 550 of the National Geographic video shorts from 1 to 9 minutes in length. The ones that we have here have to do with geography. So now I'm going to go back to the MAPS 101 homepage. From anywhere on the resource, click the green and white MAPS 101 logo, and that will return you back to the MAPS 101 homepage. The second way to search for content is to do a keyword search. Right above the Browse by Subject box, you can enter a keyword. Perhaps we are studying indigenous wildlife on the different continents. Maybe we want to learn about African wildlife. Let's search for a video using our keyword search. To receive the most results, I'm going to type in a broad search term. I'm going to type in Africa. And as I click search, we will see a page open up that shows me 707 results returned. Those are broken down here into the green tabs, which you will note correspond to the content sections of MAPS 101 that you see here on the left side. And I know that we'll find videos in National Geographic. Let's go ahead and click. On that tab, we'll see that we have 27 National Geographic videos having to do with Africa. We can click to expand the results and find the right one. The third way to search for content on MAPS 101 is to search by location, and we do that using our Earth View search. We've actually incorporated Microsoft Bing's satellite imagery into our search engine, allowing you to search for content by location. We'll use the same example, videos of African wildlife, this time searching by location, and in our search box we'll type in that broad search term Africa, and as we click go, a new tab will open up. You'll note that we are right over the continent of Africa, and a box will come up showing us those 707 results. We're looking for some videos. Right here we have 27. Click to expand the list of titles. Maybe we're looking for videos on cheetahs. Here is a video called Cheetah Cub Jumps Gazelle. Click to open up a small window showing a thumbnail of the video and offering us a couple of options. On the left, you can click to go to this resource to take a look at the video immediately, or on the right, I'm going to choose to save the link, and during my session I can save as many links as I wish to go back and take a look at later. Let's see if we can find some more cheetah videos. Here's one called The Lives of Cheetahs. That one looks pretty good. Let me go ahead and save this one. Now I have a couple of cheetah videos I can take a look at and decide which one will work best in my lesson. At the end of my browsing session, I want to clear to remove the list of saved links. That way when I or the next user go to make a search, we can start with a clean slate. We'll go ahead and close out of this session of Earth View. So to reiterate, you can certainly type a location in and search through the results. But there's also another great way to use the Earth View search. You can type a location and actually take a look at it. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Stone Mountain, Georgia. We'll type that in the search box, click go. Our new tab opens up. You'll see we're right over the state of Georgia. We do have 20 results returned for Stone Mountain. I'm actually going to go ahead and close out of that box. I want to use my controls in the upper left-hand corner to drill down and we're going to go ahead and take a look at Stone Mountain. And this is a great complement to our static community maps. You can, of course, access landforms, various terrain, but actually drill down to neighborhoods, even different landmarks. So here you can take a look at Stone Mountain Park. I hope you'll use EarthView in creative ways in your classrooms. And finally, the fourth way to search for Maps 101 content is to search either by state or Common Core standards, and I will show you examples of how to search both ways. Let's start with the Georgia State Standards. We've correlated our Maps 101 content to the Georgia Standards, and from the State Standards drop-down menu, choose your state, and then let's go ahead and choose a grade level. We're going to go to grade 1 and click Go. What you'll see come up is a list of the standard codes, the strands, a description, and then the Maps 101 correlations. So we're going to go down to SS1G3. The student will locate major topographical features of the Earth's surface. Let's click to see the results. So you'll see here that we have some lesson plans, some classroom activities, introduction to maps and map projections. I'd like to show you a lesson plan called Introduction to the World Map and Globe. You can see that it's a lesson plan at the K-2 level, ranked excellent for the standard code. You can actually click the expectation level to look further in depth. Any cross-curricular applications are shown at the bottom. Click on the blue hyperlink to go right into the lesson plan, and you'll notice that our lesson plans in Maps 101 are set up first with the introduction, the time frame, you're given the objectives and national standards for the lesson. Scrolling down, you'll be provided with links to the maps you'll need for the lesson, and the procedure for the lesson is outlined. You'll have assessment suggestions, and the lesson plan may include an extension and a student handout for students to answer questions about the lesson. You can download the lesson plan or print it by clicking the link in the upper right-hand corner. So that's to access a lesson plan or content by state standard. To access by Common Core, it's very similar. Click on the Common Core tab, and you'll notice we do have some lesson plans here for the different levels. Here's Getting Around Our Classroom, which actually gives the objectives, the Common Core standards, and the procedures for the lesson plan in great detail. If you actually wish to search for lesson plan by Common Core correlation to grade level, it's real easy to go ahead and pick a grade. We'll choose second grade and click Go. You'll notice that in the Common Core correlations, we do list all of them. So at the top, these are the general ones. You're going to have to scroll down until you get to the ones specific to your grade level. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at speaking and listening, which is SL21A. So let's continue to scroll down until we get to that section. Participate in collaborative conversation with diverse partners. Let's go ahead and click to see the results, and I'll just show you here that we have a list of lesson plans that fulfill that Common Core correlation. So we'll return back to our home page, and I'll quickly remind you that the 4 ways to find content on Maps 101 are to browse by subject, to search by keyword, to search by location, or by state or Common Core standards. I do like to spend a few minutes showing our subscribers how to navigate the resource. You know, we have about 7,000 total pieces of material on Maps 101, including maps, videos, lesson plans, and other content. It's really impossible to know everything contained within the resource. However, if you do know how to navigate, you can find just about anything that you're looking for. The sections making up the Maps 101 resource are National Geographic, map collections, interactive maps, Spanish language, reference atlas, global perspectives, K-3 maps, classroom resources, and finally, Learn and Play. We're going to start at the top and work our way down. A few years ago, we formed a digital content alliance with the National Geographic Society, and we're very excited to offer our teachers and students access to even more outline maps. We have about 1,000 total. We also include for you the National Geographic magazine archive maps, Earth Pulse, and over 500 National Geographic video shorts, again from 1 to 9 minutes in length. So you can see that you're actually getting the benefits of 2 resources with the National Geographic content included in your Maps 101 subscription. Let's begin with the magazine map archive, and I'm sure you are all familiar with that poster-sized pull-out map that you occasionally get included in your yellow border National Geographic magazine. We've got over 100 years worth of those maps archived here for you at Maps 101. dating back to 1891. As far as we know, there's no other place to find these maps digitized, so they are unique to Maps 101. We've arranged the maps a couple of ways for you. On the left, you can search for a map by date. On the right, the same maps are categorized by area. Let's go to North America, and you'll see in alphabetical order a list of all maps for all areas, regions, countries on the North American continent. I'd like to show you a map entitled Native American Heritage. This is a map from 1991. You can read more information about the map down at the bottom. Click the button that says Zoom, the green button, and that allows you to open a new window where you can actually zoom into a high resolution. And using your mouse and your controls, you can manipulate the map. I do want to show you this is a great map if you're studying the Native Americans. We can learn about the natives of the Great Plains, how they lived, contrast them, for example, with the natives of your area in the eastern woodlands, and lots of little factoids about the different Native American lifestyles. So I hope that you'll check out many of the maps in the archive. They're all different and all really interesting maps. We'll go back to the National Geographic home section here, and I do want to talk a little bit more about those videos that I mentioned a couple of times. We have over 550 video shorts, again from 1 to 9 minutes in length. Great if you're segueing between topics, introducing a subject. If you've got a few extra minutes in the classroom, you can pop in a National Geographic video. You can search for video content a couple of ways. The first way is to actually click on the map, and you can expand the map, even search for video by specific location. If you wish, you can scroll through an alphabetical list of all titles of our videos. I think it might be a little bit easier to search from within the 5 categories, and those are civilizations and history, culture and society, science and nature, wildlife, and videos in Spanish language. Perhaps we're studying Native Americans in the classroom. We can certainly look for a video to show the class about the lifestyles and maybe the history of certain Native American peoples. Let's go ahead and go into culture and society. And what you'll see come up is the default view. That's thumbnails by alpha. You can scroll through the list of pages to view thumbnails, or on the right side, click to view the titles as text. And that way you can kind of take a look at the titles. Here's a video entitled Cherokee Heritage Center. We'll go ahead and play a little bit of that video for you. And let's see here. Okay, as the video comes up, we're just going to go ahead and mute the sound here. We have the running time is 3 minutes on this video. Our Google locator map shows us where in the world is this video. It's actually located not in the western United States, but more in the Oklahoma area. And we have a description of the video. Oklahoma is the Native American state with 39 tribes and nations headquartered there. In Tahlequah, the Cherokee Heritage Center is a museum and living history exhibit which gives visitors insight to the Cherokee story. We can take our control and put them out, and with our mouse, put the video in full screen mode. We can show that in the classroom on the smartboard, and then either press the escape key on your keyboard or with your mouse go back and restore it back to the default view. Scrolling down, you'll see a list of related maps, videos, and lessons accompanying the video that's playing. And then finally, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to the end of the video. You'll see we have our Maps 101 Fast Facts. Did you know that the Cherokee Heritage Center is located in a historic building? And then we can learn more about the Cherokee Heritage Center and its preservation of the cultural traditions. And finally, the different artifacts and documents that are available in the center. So you can see that the combination of the text, the visuals, the sound, the locator maps, and the fast facts create a wonderful environment for your students to develop their independent learning skills. Very quickly, in National Geographic, I do want to point out the 9th edition Atlas, where we have current and updated maps of different areas of the world, different regions, countries, even the Milky Way and the solar system. Let's take a quick look at a physical map of North America so you can see what these National Geographic atlases are like. And of course, you can zoomify that. I won't do that at this time. We're going to jump right into the map collections, which is really the heart and soul of Maps 101. Our parent company is Maps.com. We are a cartography company. We actually make the maps that you see here on Maps 101. And we have thousands of maps available for you in the map collections. Our broad range of maps includes antique maps, history maps, outline maps, thematic maps, and many, many more. I want to go to the outline map sets, and as I mentioned earlier, we have about 1,000 total, and they are accessed frequently throughout all the grade levels. And in this section, I want to show you how to work with a map, how you can print it, email it, download it to your computer, and even further customize a map. So I've chosen for our demonstration an outline map of the United States with shaded relief. I've got a couple of maps here. One map has text, one is without text. Let me go ahead and click on this map with text, and I like this map. I want to work with it. Here is what I can do. I can print a PDF of the map to hand out to the students to work on, perhaps in an assignment in the classroom or at home. All our PDFs have been pre-formatted to print on 8.5 by 11 paper. I can click to email a map. It says to a teacher at your school, but it can really be to any Maps 101 user. They will need to have the login credentials, the username and password that your school has supplied you with. You can click to download the image to your computer, and that way you can put it in a PowerPoint or embed it in your lesson. Your license to Maps 101 allows you to store the image on your machine throughout the duration of your subscription. That way, if you've got a map that you frequently use, you can keep it at your fingertips on your computer. You don't need to log on to the internet to access the map. And then finally, I'd like to show you the Map Sketch tool, which allows you to further customize any of the maps in our map collections. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it before I demonstrate it for you. Map Sketch is a tool that allows the user to add text, icons, shapes, and a range of colors to further engage your students and reinforce the lessons. Once the lesson is completed, the user then has the option to print the map, save it, email it, or download it as an image file to use in presentations or other documents. So I will tell you right now that your K-2 students are way better at this than I will ever be, but I think that you will get the general idea of how to work with Map Sketch and customize a map from my basic attempts. So I have some colors here. My favorite color is red, and I'm going to put a star here in Southern California where I live, and now I'm going to pick another color. I'll pick blue. And you know, I'm going on vacation next month. I'm really excited. Going to go visit my grandma. She's retired to Florida. She's having a great time there. And my airplane is going to take a straight line to grandma's house. And so we're going to have a lot of fun in Florida because it's always sunny there. So we'll put the sun over here. But you know what else they have in Florida? They've got some pretty big bugs. So we're going to go ahead and put some bugs there. And we'll start our map key. And let's go back and put the sun. We'll fill the rest of that out later. And now I'm going to give this a title, My Vacation Map. And finally, my teacher has asked me to draw an ellipse around the name of my country, so I'll go ahead and draw that around the United States of America. So you can see my beautiful map here of my visit to Grandma's house. Obviously, you know, your students are going to be much better at this than I am, but you can see how they'll be able to take these maps and take what they learn in the classroom, apply the information to the map. Teachers, you'll be able to assess how your students are doing. They'll get very creative. We've gotten a lot of great feedback from teachers and students about Map Sketch. Map Sketch is fully compatible with iPads and other tablet devices, even your iPhone if you wish. And finally, if you pull up the Map Sketch tool and you don't see a map here, it means that your browser needs to be updated. If you're on an older platform such as Windows XP, a good workaround is to go to Google, download the Chrome browser, which works really well on older computers and allows you to work with Map Sketch. So getting back to our maps, if you see that a map is used in a lesson, you'll be provided with links to the lessons underneath the map that you're viewing. This map is used in 3 lessons at 3 different grade levels, and we've got over 200 lessons and activities here in classroom resources for you. So now we know what we can do with a map. We're going to go to the map collections and take a quick look at some of the maps available for you. Maps 101 is for more than just history and geography. We have an extensive collection of maps with scientific and geographic information here in our Earth Science maps. You'll note that some of the maps do have the National Geographic icon. Here's a map of the water cycle. Zoomify this, show it on your smartboard, a great representation of the water cycle. Let's check out some history maps. You'll note the maps are arranged by U.S., Canadian, and world history, and then we have a separate map showing presidential election maps that you can take a look at. We'll go to our U.S. history maps and show you that these are arranged chronologically, starting with the colonial and revolutionary times. You'll note that the first presidential election map is in 1789. And scrolling down, you'll see a history of the U.S. told in map form with the War of 1812, the Texas Revolution, westward expansion to the Civil War, all the way through the World Wars and the Depression to the current post-Cold War era, just to quickly go through U.S. history. Lots and lots of maps for you. Let's take a look at a map showing English colonial settlements in the North America in the 1600s. Of course, Georgia was represented in the southern colonies. Additionally, our world history maps are arranged in the same chronological order, starting with our ancient societies and civilizations, going on to the Age of Exploration, the Renaissance to Napoleon, and again through the World Wars to the current era, the post-Cold War era. So a map that I'd like to show you now is a map showing early peoples in North America, and that was around 1000 CE. So let's go ahead and find that here. Here we go. So great contrast to the Native American heritage map that we saw. We see that some of the people are woodland farmers, Pueblo Indians, hunters-gatherers. Great to contrast that map with the other maps. So hope you'll check out our world history maps. In addition, you can find a lot of great maps in our thematic map sets. And of course, these thematic maps display different types of data. It might be cultural or historical data. We have thematic maps broken down by world, by country, U.S., Canada, and then by state. So the state thematic maps have a wealth of information. We'll go to the thematic maps for the state of Georgia. Let's take a look at a map showing land use in Georgia. We can see that in Georgia, we have croplands, forest, wetlands, and urbanized regions, and we also have different types of crops and industries. So hope you'll check out the thematic maps as well as the other maps in our map collections. We're going to move to the next section, interactive maps, where these maps feature visual movement and sound effects to engage students and bring historic events to life. We'll take a quick look at our animated history maps. Again, U.S. and world history, both sections arranged chronologically. Here's a map showing the Louisiana Purchase and the routes of major exploration. We can click to see the Louisiana Territory. The green arrows denote Pike's travels. The black arrows show the journeys taken by Pike. And we can, actually the green arrows were Lewis and Clark, I apologize. So clear the map by clicking on the arrows and the shaded areas to restore it back to the default view. In the world history maps, you'll note that these are also arranged chronologically. Let's take a look at an animated map showing the spread of agriculture. Click the button to begin the animation. You can see the spread of different crops across the continents, and you can stop, talk about maybe how did bananas get from Southeast Asia to the African continent, and then continue on and show that in the classroom. Our next section is the Spanish language section, an entire section dedicated to Spanish language. We actually added content due to requests from our subscribers. And so we'll take a quick look at our Spanish language section here. We've got some basic maps in Spanish language. Let's look at the continentes del mundo, the capital of the world, continents of the world. So we see the correct spelling, accenture, and of course location of these places on the map. Additionally, I want to point out we have translations of our Geography Skill Builders lessons. We'll take a closer look at those when we get to the classroom resources sections. We'll also find translations in Global Perspectives of the current event articles we offer for Geography News Network and Geography in the News archived articles. Please check out our Spanish language glossaries at the beginning and advanced level. We'll go to grades 2 and 3. You can see the term given to you in Spanish, the same term in English, and the definition in Spanish. You can work back and forth between the English and the Spanish language versions if you wish. In addition, we offer you a selection of National Geographic videos in Spanish language, great for your ELL students as well as language arts students wishing to increase their auditory comprehension. And finally, let's check out our K through 3 maps in Spanish language. These are also available in our special K through 3 section, but we'll take a look at them here in the Spanish language section. You see we have some pretty basic maps. Let's look at a map of mi casa, my house. Here's a map showing Mom and Dad's room, my room, the kitchen table. It's fun to work with Map Sketch using this map. We can actually set the table using the Map Sketch tool. Now we're all ready for lunch. So please check out the Spanish language K through 3 maps. We'll take a look at the content collection when we get down to the Global Perspectives section in just a few minutes. We'll go next to the Maps 101 Reference Atlas, an extensive and up-to-date world and U.S. reference atlas with a variety of tools. Each country and state offers you access to a political map, a physical map, a flag, and an extensive collection of statistics. For purposes today, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the state of Georgia. So I've clicked on the state to bring up a basic political map of Georgia. The next link will bring us a simple physical map of Georgia. We can take a look at Georgia's flag by clicking the next link. And then finally, let's look at some statistical information for Georgia. We begin with people, go all the way through geography, government, and economy. And you can scroll down and read the different statistics and facts. In addition to the statistics for different states and countries, the Maps 101 Reference Atlas offers a couple of other great features. My favorite is the Guide to Country Comparisons, where we have taken countries in rank order and listed them pertaining to topics such as geography, people and society, economy, energy, communications, transportation, and military. And so an example of how to use this is with populations. We may be talking about populations in our city, in our state, in our country, and then we can find out which country has the most people in the world and contrast that with a country with the least amount of people in the world. It's really easy to do that. Open up your Maps 101 Reference Atlas, and from the Guide to Country Comparisons, simply click on population, and you'll note that China has the most people in the world with 1.3 billion people. And then we can scroll down to the very bottom of the page and see that the Pitcairn Islands has a population of 48, and that's a great way to talk about what that number might actually mean. There's a country where all of its people can fit in our classroom or maybe in our media center, and then how many people is 1.3 billion. So great way to use the Maps 101 Reference Atlas in your classroom. Please note, we also have a list of appendices with scientific and geographic information. Hope you'll check those out. Let your colleagues know about it as well. Our next section is the Global Perspective section, and this section is chock full of information. Here is where your students will learn about world events from a geographic perspective. I mentioned our content collection a little bit earlier in our presentation. This is where they're housed. Let's focus on Black History Month, which in the United States takes place in February. Please note that we have collected for you National Geographic videos relating to Black history, maps showing locations of significance, articles, activities, and maps all of interest to Black History Month. February is followed by Women's History Month taking place in March, and then the next month in April we have Earth Month. And of course Hispanic Heritage Month takes place in the fall from September to October. So hope you'll use these and check them out in celebrating the different times of the year in your classroom. I would like to focus in on a couple of sections here in Global Perspectives as well. The first one is Geography News Network, also known as GNN. GNN is a series of weekly and monthly articles written for us by a team of geographers for Maps 101 readers. These articles come out on a weekly and monthly basis on a variety of topics on a range and with a range of different perspectives. Let's go ahead and take a look at an article called A Feast of Festivals. Are we happier when we celebrate together? Now, of course, these are written at the newspaper level, and of course, maybe too advanced for some of the younger learners. However, it's great for teachers to know that this resource is available, and it can be used as a foundation for a lesson plan at an age-appropriate level. But we can see about different holidays around the world, read an article. You'll note that at the end of the article there are questions for extended learning, which provide for discussion and bring rigor into the classroom. I mentioned earlier that these articles are available in Spanish. Click the Spanish version to get the graphic, the article, and the questions for extended learning in Spanish, and we'll go back to English here. We also are very excited that we are podcasting some of our Geography News Network, our GNN articles. Go to the Maps 101 blog, which is at maps101blog.com, and you can go to the podcast section. We have a new podcast come out, every week or so. In addition to podcasts, you can also find other content such as lesson plans, new content, GeoJoint content, and other relevant content to social studies educators. So hope you'll check that out. GNN does have an archive section available in English or Spanish. You can search by subject or just search through all of the articles, so lots and lots of articles for you. We also have the archived Geography in the News current event articles written for over 20 years by Dr. Neil Lineback, who actually just retired, so we're very fortunate to keep the archive section here. So for example, we may want to search for articles on, let's just say, the Middle East. And so I'll type that in. And you can see that there are at least 8 pages of articles referencing the Middle East. Of course, you can type in any search that you wish, and you'll pull up articles relevant to that search term. And finally, I'd like to show you my favorite section of Maps 101, and this is the Map of the Week. It comes out every Monday by our geographic artist, Scott Davis. He ties current and historical events to the lay of the land. So we have a very important map showing us toys. Total doll and stuffed toy manufacturers by state, and so we learned that Santa's elves aren't the only ones making toys this holiday season. We can learn about the states that have the most toy and doll manufacturers, and you'll see that these maps of the week do offer open-ended questions which provide, again, for discussion in the classroom. I think it's kind of fun to start your week off, open up a map of the week on Monday, and to have a discussion. Some of the maps might be serious, some of them might be a little bit of fun. You can search the archives either by keyword or chronologically for some fun maps of the week. I think that when the students enjoy what they're learning, they want to learn more, they remember what they learned, so I always like to show the map of the week in my presentations. We're going to move on next to the K-3 section. This is an entire section designed and dedicated to the early learner, providing simplified visuals that support subjects that can often be complex for our young learners. Let's check out the sections individually. In our beginner map section, we've actually introduced our first series of animated maps to help students learn beginning farm vocabulary with Uncle Sam's Farm Starter version, map gridding, and introduction to cardinal directions. Let's go ahead and play a little bit of the cardinal directions game for you. Now, all of these Uncle Sam's Farm do have sound, so let's go ahead and play.
Uncle Sam's Farm. Welcome to Uncle Sam's Farm, cardinal direction map version. Sam wants you to get to know his farm. Look at Sam's tractor dashboard to learn about north, south, east, and west directions. Have fun!
Okay, so go ahead and play a little bit of this game.
What is the direction from the cows to the ducks?
So before I answer that question, let's see what we have here. We'll look at Uncle Sam's dashboard. Please note we can toggle the cardinal directions on and off. I'm going to go ahead and leave them off. As we answer questions, we burn up fuel. You'll note the compass rose is here, and of course, lots of clucking and mooing and quacking, lots of sound effects here on Uncle Sam's Farm. So now we can answer the question, what is the direction from the cows to the ducks? So I'm going to say that it is south.
Yes, south.
All right.
What
now,
is the direction from the barn to the house.
So if I answer the question incorrectly, you'll see it's not punitive, that it just asks us to try again. So from the barn to the house, I'm going to say it's north.
Try again.
And you can see that we get to try again. So please check out not only the cardinal directions version, but the other version, and there is a way that you can take a look at the instructions in an animated format as well. Our beginner maps do give early learners a sense of place and the world around them. And of course, you see the progression of their expanding universe. Here is my neighborhood and a map showing my house. We have our map key here. We can also go to a my universe. So we know that we live on a planet called Earth. It's my planet. There's other planets here in my solar system. And of course, we've got different types of neighborhoods. And we have maps illustrating rural and urban neighborhoods. Here is a simple large farm map showing the house, the pond, here's a barn. And we can go to a pretty sophisticated 45-degree angle urban and rural bird's eye view map. In the K-3 map section, we also have simplified maps of the Earth, and we can take a look at the equator, tropics, and poles. And let's take a quick look at the hemispheres. We actually have upper-level teachers tell us that they'll use these K-3 maps when teaching these topics or reviewing these topics with their students because they're such basic and solid explanations. We offer basic and physical and political world maps at the K-3 map level. We earlier viewed the National Geographic map of North America, physical map. Here's the same K-3 version for you. It's got all the same information, but at a simplified level. And we also offer U.S. maps with simple and easy to read regions of the U.S. Looking at the southeastern states, we can see that my state is here and there's other states in my region, and this is where we're located in our country. And just to remind you, you can also find the K-3 maps in Spanish language in the K-3 section as well as the Spanish language section. We're moving on next to the classroom resources section where we have over 200 lessons and activities, and it's a place where teachers can find tools to develop and test student skills. We earlier accessed the lesson plan section by searching either by Common Core or State Standard, but you can also open up classroom resources and go right into the lesson plan section. Easy to search for a lesson either by grade level, subject, or world region. So I'll click on K-2 and click Go. We'll show you a list of all of the lesson plans available for the K-2 level. They're all set up in the same fashion as the one we viewed earlier. In addition to the longer lesson plans, we offer the shorter classroom activities, and these also are arranged by grade levels. Let's go to grade level K-2. And let's take a look at the map and the globe. Have your students look at the World Reference Atlas and a globe at the same time, and you're provided with a link to the atlas. What differences do they notice? Point out that since the map is flat, it shows the world differently than the globe, which shows the world in a more realistic way. Have your students look at Antarctica on the map and the globe, and how does it look different? What other differences do they notice? Ask them to think about the reasons why we have both globes and maps and to share their ideas with the class. So that's just one of the many classroom activities available here for you. I mentioned the geography skill builders earlier. Again, these are available in English and Spanish. We'll take a look at both. These are arranged by, these are over 70 geography-centric activities to help your students practice and reinforce their geography skills. You can choose from U.S. or world geography. I'm going to go ahead and click on U.S. You'll note that both sections are arranged chronologically by themes. We start with American beginnings all the way down to nearing the century mark. So we can take a look at a skill builder on the Earth's wind system. Of course, this talks about how wind influenced exploration. You have the reading passage, custom graphic, finally questions for the students to answer about the text and the visual. And again, click the Spanish language version to see the text, the graphic, and the questions for extended learning in Spanish. Then finally, in classroom resources, we do have our Understanding Geography activities. These are lessons designed to support existing social studies curricula. We have levels 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to show you an activity from level 3, activity 8, called The Shape of the Land. We can read more information about the activity here, landforms and bodies of water. Click the PDF icon to take a closer look. So we have, of course, lots of color, lots of photos, keywords. We get to answer questions about different types of landforms and bodies of water, and then at the end we have an activity to try ourselves and questions to help us review the lesson. And finally, let's take a quick look at our Learn and Play section. This section contains our K through 12 educational games and quizzes and provides a fun and engaging way to review and reinforce the subjects being taught in the classroom. Some of the teachers of younger students use the games as a reward for students that might complete their work early or receive high scores. So we'll take a quick look and see what's available here. We have a couple of crossword puzzles tied into our content collections for Earth Month and Women's History Month. We have a fun game show where Geo George, your game show host, asks you questions that you answer by clicking a location on the map. All of the GeoQuiz game show answers can be found in the reference atlas. We have a couple of drag and drop games to reinforce the locations of state and state capital. So if I can drag the icon to the state of Texas, I get applause. If I don't get the right answer, is this Hawaii? I get the buzzer. So lots of fun, great way to learn the location of states. We looked at Uncle Sam's Farm for the younger learner. Aliens is another game very popular with the younger learner. This is a really fun game, and it's also compatible with the iPad. We target where the aliens want to go on the map and beam them down. A red flashing screen means try again. So the alien wants to go to Africa. Let me go ahead and click on Africa. If I have the right answer, the alien does a little dance, as we see here. Now, if the alien wants to go to Europe, is this Europe? Let me see. Nope, coordinates do not compute. So I get to try again. Again, not a punitive game. We have jigsaw puzzles, crosswords, and word searches of various degrees of difficulty. Notice we have easy and advanced geography crosswords for your students. Your students can become junior cartographers with map kits, and finally we have some flash world quizzes that range from pretty easy to the continents quiz to super challenging, naming countries and different continents on a time basis. So I know we've covered a lot of material in just a short amount of time today, and I do want to show you a resource that you can use to assist you in using Maps 101. Click on the Help tab in the upper right corner to access the Maps 101 user guide. You'll be able to read in detail about the different sections we did not have time to cover completely. Also, you can refresh how to navigate, how to work with a map, how to download a map. Also, if you need troubleshooting information, clearing your cookies, for example, you can find that information here. So this does conclude our review of Maps 101. I hope that you have a solid understanding of the breadth and depth of instructional content available to you in Maps 101 and really how easy it is to navigate. Please feel free to contact us at any time should you require assistance. We are here to help you get the most out of your resource. Thank you again for your time, and hope you have a great rest of your day.